Y'all might already know about the basketball and the bourbon and the bluegrass and the horses. Well, here's some more facts from the greatest state in the United States, the good old Kentucky, my good old Kentucky home. Well, Kentucky was founded in 1792, and that's cool and all, but, well, it's not that interesting. One thing that makes Kentucky as awesome as it is, well, it has some interesting stuff. And here's some interesting stuff for y'all to get educated about. Y'all get to some more true education in a few minutes, but as of now, here's some stereotypes that are getting destroyed right yonder. Kentucky is famous for having names of cities and counties and regions and all those good stuff from other places. But, well, some of them are off. There's some that are right, like Paris, that's France and Kentucky. London, that's England and Kentucky. Florence, that's Italy and Kentucky. Frankfurt, Germany and Kentucky. But then, there's Versailles. Y'all might say, I don't recognize Versailles. But just look up how it's spelled. V-E-R-S-L. So it's Versailles. The other people have it wrong. Us Kentuckians are right. Also, Kentucky is known for people who don't wear shoes and don't have any teeth. For the not wearing shoes part, well, that can be right depending on where you are. If you're currently located in a house and you're in Kentucky, you're probably not wearing shoes, so that's correct in a way. But also, there's a stereotype about people don't have teeth. Well, that's a fallacy, folks. I guarantee at least one person in Kentucky has had at least one tooth at some point because, well, nobody truly knows where the toothbrush was invented, but I'm pretty sure it must have been Kentucky. Because if you think about it, every other state people have teeth. So if the toothbrush was invented in Kentucky, then that means that the person who invented the toothbrush must have one tooth. Because if it was made in any other state, it would have been called the teethbrush. So therefore, the toothbrush was invented in Kentucky, and Kentuckians at least have one tooth. You might have the lucky few to have all their teeth, though, but, well, there's some things in Kentucky that I'll get to later that causes a little bit of teeth loss, but not too bad. Not too bad indeed. And here's some more factoids and information about the greatest state in the United States, my good old Kentucky home. Kentucky is home to bluegrass. Y'all probably already knew that, but here's a picture of bluegrass. Right yonder on the left is green grass. Right yonder on the right is bluegrass. This is sort of a rare case. It usually doesn't get this blue, but usually if you look closely at some of the grass in Kentucky, it is actually a little bit blue. I don't really know what causes it. I don't know if anyone does, but Kentucky's the only area that I know of that can have truly blue grass. That's something for y'all to think about. Also, another stat is Kentucky is one of the leading producers of tobacco in the United States, and it's one of the leading producers of grass in the United States. If you know what I'm talking about, grass, I'm not talking about the bluegrass. But, well, some people might smoke that bluegrass nonetheless. Which that's sort of ironic, too, is Kentucky is probably going to be one of the last states to legalize grass, but is one of the states that produces the most. So, that's a conundrum for y'all to think about. Also, Kentucky is known for its high ethic in schools. Kentucky is one of the highest improvement of schools in the whole entire nation. Kentucky has moved from the worst 50 out of 50 worst schools in America to now we're 47th. That's a 3-spot improvement right yonder, and that's pretty good. And here's one of the reasons we're improving. Our mascots are now being a little bit more creative. In the good old days, we just copied and pasted from teams that already existed. But now, here's a comparison of two mascots. This is the Franklin County Flyers. and this is the Philadelphia Eagles. Flyers, Eagles. Flyers, Eagles. Do y'all see a little bit of similarity? I think there is a little bit there in the shapes, but, well, the colors are different, so that's something. At least they're being better with their schools now, and that's an improvement nonetheless. Also, another improvement in schools is the creativity of the names. There's a school in Kentucky called the Campbell Camels. That's one of the best names I've ever heard, and it's probably one of the worst schools if I went to it. I ain't gonna say where I go, cause, well, stalkers are bad, but, well, I don't go to the Campbell Camels. Camels don't exist in America, but the Camel Camels do. Try to say that 5 times fast, and I'm not gonna do it, cause, well, I have trouble saying it 1 time fast. Also, another thing that Kentucky is famous for is the good old AL81. Y'all might not know what that is, but I looked it up and you can actually buy it on Amazon.com. Look up AL81 on Amazon and buy you some. It's the best ginger ale out there, yeehaw. But AL81 was not originally created to be ginger ale. It was created to be a chaser and or a mixer for the good old Kentucky bourbons of the early 1900s. If y'all think about it, this makes sense. Because back in the good old days, bourbons didn't have to be regulated so they could be as high of a proof as you wanted to get. That's what ended up making moonshine illegal and creating all that. Moonshine might still be around, I don't really know, but now the bourbons have died down, but Ale81 has not died out nonetheless. Once moonshine became illegal and all that moonshine running and became less popular, Ale81 went from mixer to ginger ale and has become the best tasting ginger ale out there. Some of y'all Canadians might disagree, but y'all have to try it and find out. Buy it on Amazon. I'm not paid to sponsor this. It's just some good stuff. But actually not all Kentuckians drink Ale81 the most because, well, in Pikeville, Kentucky, it's the leading per capita consumer of Pepsi products. But it's one of the lowest per capita consumers of Pepsi. So that means more people in Pikeville, Kentucky drink Mountain Dew than anywhere else in the world. That's a factoid of information for y'all right yonder. And the final thing I want to say, I say it quite a lot. And I think y'all know what it is, but y'all might have not exactly heard of this place. Well, here's some factoid information for y'all. The Florence Y'all. This actually exists. This is not Photoshop. If you go to Florence, Kentucky, and go to the right place, you're going to see a water tower that says Florence Y'all on it. Originally, it was supposed to say Florence Mall, but, well, the Florence Mall still exists and it's still there, but they couldn't legally call it a mall. The government got mad at them, so they had to change it to Y'all. The Kentucky government would rather have a y'all than a mall, and that's one of the things that makes Kentucky great. Kentucky's the greatest state out there, and, well, Kentucky has some of the greatest things out there, and now y'all are educated about some of the best things out there. Yee-haw, y'all!